Hello. How you guys doing? Hi everybody. Sorry for the low energy today. To be entirely honest, I have been feeling real bad for the past 2 weeks. I don't know how to call it, but if I were to give it a name, it would be sort of like a mild, like a passive cold. As in, you have the symptoms of a cold. You have the symptoms, but they're super, super mild. They're super, super mild. So, it doesn't really like warrant you taking any medicine. It's more like you try to like tough it out, because usually when you have a mild cold, it just goes up by itself. It doesn't matter. Also, Mako, for the symptoms, mild throat discomfort, mild headaches. Very, very exhausted though. I have been very, very exhausted recently for no reason. I have been sleeping most of the day. Like, I have been sleeping basically for like 18 hours. Mild headaches, mild sore throat, I don't really get like the watery. Well, I do, but right now I didn't get like the watery nose. I didn't get the nose issues like the sneezing, but it is something. It is something. I know that I should rest, but Mako, here's the thing. You probably don't know because it's been a while since you came in. Hi, hello, by the way. We miss you. Thank you so much for coming. But the thing is that I am going to get my wisdom teeth removed. I'm going to get all of my wisdom toothers removed on the 30th, and that means that I will have to go on hiatus. Because I obviously won't be able to speak while my mouth recovers. So, I am feeling sort of better, as in like, before this week, I was like, practically bedridden. Unfortunately, I got the gene, from my family, which is that colds hit us really, really hard. My sister and I both, when we get colds, we're practically done for the count. So, for last week, I was cold, I was sick for most of the week. And then I got better, but then it's sort of like these very mild symptoms, which are very annoying. Yeah, somehow everybody also is going to get their wisdom teeth removed. I know Stefan got his wisdom teeth removed recently, and that's why he hasn't been streaming. But he released a song, and it was really good. You guys should check it out. He released a song, I assume while he's in recovery, so that he can still do content. But he right now is recovering from that. And thankfully, I got the blood exams done. I have been going out this week getting all of my stuff done. So I went to get my meds refilled. I also went to the hemologist and to get my blood drawn to see if my iron levels were good enough so that I would be able to have the surgery. Thankfully, everything went okay, so I don't have to postpone it. And also, I've just been, I haven't been really going out. I don't feel healthy enough to be going out. I don't have the energy. But, yeah, everything's been cool. Everything's been okay. Also, obviously for the people who know, I have been playing Tomodachi Live since screens right now give me a headache. Right now, I've just got like a headache general. It isn't really something that is screen susceptible, so don't worry about it. But when I was more sick, I did get headaches whenever I looked at the computer screen. Hi, even hello. I'm glad that I am still appearing on the on the Twitch discovery thingy because I haven't streamed in a while. I haven't streamed in like a week or so because, as I was saying, I had a cold that has now turned into an eternal mild cold in which I feel bad. I'm glad that you find me. How are you doing? So, yeah, I've just been doing stuff in the background. I have been working on commissions when I can, when my eyes don't bother me, or my headaches don't bother me, and oh, thank you. Thank you for the well wishes. Speaking of exhaustion, I wasn't feeling that tired yesterday. Oh yeah, definitely. I have depression, so I do struggle with like managing my energy levels. But usually when I'm healthy, as in like physically healthy, I don't get tired all of a sudden. But I do have very little spoons when it comes to socializing. By the way, when it comes to spoons, basically it's something called spoon theory. Because when you're chronically ill, or when you have any chronic condition, oh, I'm glad. Usually we're pretty chill. I'm just going to do a chill short drawing stream, because I do want to give out some updates for what's been happening. But yeah, spoon theory basically means that, when you are chronically ill, you have a certain amount of spoons or like energy points for the day. And you spend more or less energy spoons depending on like what you do. Also, thank you for the follow. But yeah, so usually socializing and going out takes a lot out of me. Mostly socializing, to be honest. Not really going out per se, but definitely when it comes to socializing and talking to people. So I have to reserve days for that. And, when you've got a cold or when you've got any sort of like illness, it does take more energy out of you. It does. Thank you so much for the bits! Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I really need to update my notifications. Those look so bad. I've been meaning to maybe, actually code my own. As you guys know, I already had some experience with HTML and CSS. Back when I was on DeviantArt. And back when I did, like, some fandom wiki stuff. So, I am hoping to just, like, start coding my own stuff. If I'm not able to, I'll pass on the work to a coder. I'll commission somebody, but for now, I would like to take a chance at coding. As for, what I've been doing, I've been playing mostly Tomodachi Life, both the 3DS version and the Switch version. Oh, DeviantArt is a hellhole. DeviantArt is a hell site. It went to shit on like 2018. Actually less. It was on the Wix purchase. The Wix purchase was around 2015, 2016, but they did the site rehaul in 2017, which had me like, yeah, no, I'm leaving this place. I don't like it. And then, of course, Wix turned out to be super Zionist, because they're based on Israel, so I decided to not continue even updating my DeviantArt. I sometimes posted sporadically some pieces to DeviantArt to direct people to my other websites, but I decided it wouldn't be worth it in the end. Yeah. There's this weird thing about the screens of the 3DS and the regular Switch. I don't have an OLED. That don't really bother my eyesight compared to my phone or to my computer. I wonder if it's because of the amount of pixels or the amount of LED lights that they have. But those have been the two screens that I've been able to tolerate recently. And honestly, I've just been having a blast. I'm not even gonna lie. My Tomodachi Life island, the personal island, so the one that I haven't streamed, I don't stream on, that one is level 70 something. And obviously I am very hyper fixated on it because I love Tomodachi Life. I love living the dream. I have the original 3DS game. I bought it back when it was popular. And when the Living the Dream demo came out, I actually resetted my original Tomodachi Life Island. So that one is way more advanced. That one has a ton more stuff. But also, a lot of game I want to play is in Nintendo. Tomodachi, Pokemon, Splatoon. Splatoon is so good. I am so sad though that Raiders is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive, because I was looking forward to it at dawn. And I am not planning on getting a Switch 2 anytime soon. It is just so expensive right now. Because, I don't know if you guys know, but Latin America, the import of Nintendo products in Latin America, actually it has been monopolized by this company. And this company, since they basically have a monopoly of the import rights of all Nintendo products, they can hike up the price to stupid levels of expensive. Let me just give you a comparison. I'm just gonna check the price of a Nintendo Switch in the US. And a Nintendo Switch on Colombia, which is where I live. And then I'll show you guys the difference. But basically, here in Colombia, as far as I remember, the Nintendo Switch 2 is $500. You know, not very sustainable. Oh no. What idea do you have? Oh my goodness, those sound alerts are huge. I need to resize them as well. No, my wisps! They died. But yeah. Oh, right now they're on sale. I remember that Nintendo has been having some problems with the sales of the Western Nintendo Switches because they're super expensive. But let me see. COP to USD. Let's make the comparison real quick. I'm pretty sure that even with the discount, they're still $500. Isn't that right, Frida? Never mind, it's $725. The Switch is $725 in Colombia with a discount. With the current discount. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. I would rather spend that money on the computer that I'm saving up for. And as much as it pains me that I won't be able to see my true love, Shiver from Splatoon, I am not going to spend that kind of money just because I want to play Raiders. I have already told my friends this, but if I do end up deciding to buy a Nintendo Switch 2, I will be getting it once they have cute models, once they have special edition models, or they have upgraded some of it. Because the whole reason I didn't buy the Nintendo Switch regular at launch was because I thought it looked ugly. I thought it was ugly as fuck. And when the Animal Crossing edition came out, I was like, alright, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy Animal Crossing and the newest Zelda games because I am a very big Zelda fan. So I've been just playing with my Nintendo Switch regular. It has been working very well. I know that I can also emulate, and I might emulate if there's already like a functional Switch 2 emulator. But so far, so good. I might even transfer VTuber Island for VTubers, to a modded, not a modded Switch because I'm not planning on modding my Switch. It is a special edition version, which means that I would have to actually change the hardware to do that. And I don't wanna tarnish that Switch. It is too cute to be tarnished. But I will probably emulate and have personal stuff emulated on my personal computer so that I can stream it without doing all the hassle of the capture card. I mean, I will still be using the capture card because that was something that was bought with the help of all of you guys for last year's Ghost-a-thon. By the way, thank you very much. And remember that some of the rewards are already available, so you can download the Long Frida phone background. That is one of the rewards. Of course, I also gotta stream more as Hugo. I am planning some streams as Hugo, and that is going to be after my surgery. Why? Because if I use Live 2D right now, I'll probably get an even bigger headache, and I'll probably also get motion sick. So I will be postponing that to after the surgery. You'll be seeing Hugo again, don't worry. But aside from that, I've just been focusing on resting. Thank you so much for the hydrate, Sakuna. Hello, Lullaby. Lola, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're enjoying the vibes here. And also, welcome. I've just been resting up. I have been focusing on getting my defenses up, especially because I know that for any kind of surgery, I will have to have my defenses up to a certain level so that they can operate, so that I'm not prone to like getting infections and such. But yeah. I don't think I ever told you guys the details of my surgery though. But let's go off to my drawing area so that we can do stuff. Yeah. Whee! Hello? There we go. It does take a little bit to charge, doesn't it? It's okay. I will be graduating from this pain YouTuber form one day. Thank you so much for the kiss, Ethan. Also, yeah, Hugo is pretty awesome. Hugo is pretty cool. Thank you so much for the kiss. Is it a get well soon kiss? Because I appreciate it. But yeah, I have been working mostly on commissions. Since of course I have been sick recently, that means that I haven't been able to do much progress. And that makes me sad because I want to make sure that my commissioners are happy with their work and that they can see all of the progress that I've been making, in a pertinent manner. Yes. Surgery is scary. No problem, Lola. I am getting my wisdom teeth taken out. All 4 of them. Basically, I am gonna draw something because I have been planning on getting into drawing comics recently. The car's kiss. Oh yeah, Frida has been a little bit naughty recently. I'm so excited for that, Michael. I hope it goes well. But yeah, basically, we're doing a radiography of my teeth because I've been having tooth pain for a while, and like this side of my tooth. It's sort of like a pinching pain, and so I poked around at my mouth because at first I was like, oh my gosh, what if I have a cavity or something? I brush my teeth every single day, 2 times a day. I know that I should do it 3 times a day, but I forget. But either way, I was having pain at the side of my mouth, sort of like at the back of it, and I just poked around it whenever it pinched, because it did feel some sort of like not really numbing pain or like a punch, but more like somebody was like trying to dig into it, or something was poking in there like a needle. So I was really worried it was a cavity, because of course I've never had a cavity before. Usually my tooth health has been really good. In fact, I was the only one out of all my friends that didn't need braces. But either way, that was making me really annoyed, because I sleep on my side, usually on my left side. And one problem that I also had was that I tend to drool. So my mouth it doesn't close entirely. So I also got something that is called like a canker sore, or not a canker sore, but something called angular cheilitis. And when you get angular cheilitis, it basically means that you get like a little cut at the corner, right at the corner of your mouth. And it's really annoying. And the reason why I got that is because, of course, the drool was drooling like at the corner of my mouth, and it was drying out that corner. And of course, since my teeth were like weird, and I wasn't able to fully close my mouth, or it's not like I wasn't able, but more like it shifted while I slept, I realized, hey, let's go to the dentist. I went to the dentist, and when I told her about it, she was very nice and very kind, and was like, hey, since you report all of the symptoms before we do the regular tooth cleaning that I usually get every 6 months, shout out to my mom's dental, because I'm still on my mom's insurance. I usually stop being a beneficiary at 25, so I'm gonna have to do some paperwork. But right now I am still on my mom's insurance, and it is great. Thank you, Mom! But I was able to get a X-ray immediately. She was like, hey, you're telling me about all of these problems? I'm thinking that it might have to do something with the way that your teeth are positioned, maybe even your wisdom teeth, because you tell me that you haven't had them taken out yet. So let's do a quick 360 radiography. And they're pretty cool. It's a machine that they put you in, and it just goes zoom, zoom, zoom all around you. And it is honestly quite quick. I was expecting to be there for about 10 or 15 minutes, because I have had radiographies done before for certain medical examinations that I needed to do. Especially for the Japanese Colombian exchange program, you do need to get examined for everything. So I already need those x-rays, but that one was really quick. And we did the x-ray, and we got the results immediately. Very good service. Shout out to my mom's insurance. And we realized that my tooth were a little weird. So we've got tooth, all of the tooths in here. Wah 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 wah, wah 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 wah. All of these are nice. They're cool. These ones are happy. But we realized that my wisdom tooth were like quite literally, some of them were like diagonal. And some of them were completely horizontal. So they were shifting my mandible. They were shifting it. And I had a partial open bite, which basically meant that when I closed my mouth, I believe it's the left side, yeah. At the left side, my teeth weren't really touching each other. They weren't really touching. It was left a little bit open. So that was the cause of my drooling problem, first of all. And the second of all was that there was this guy, this evil guy, right here. This one. This one, that's the evil one. That was sort of like growing inwards, so it was getting inwards. And there's a nerve that goes right at the bottom of your mouth. It goes through like up and then out to the bottom of your mouth. It controls all of the left side of your bottom mandible. Yeah, that guy was pressing on the nerve, and that's what was making the pinching sound. So every time it was shifting and moving around in my mouth, that was what was causing the pain. This guy. And, we decided, so these ones are shifting your jaw, and they're causing, like, all of these sleeping problems. You could even develop, not apnea, but definitely snoring issues later in life. Let's just remove all of them. Just remove all of them. Cold turkey. Kill them. But this guy, this one, the evil one, he is so close to the nerve, and the radiography didn't really show whether it was either above, below, or attached to the nerve. So my dentist told me, and she was very nonchalant about this, as if this was just like regular stuff for her, that if we remove this evil tooth, I might get permanent nerve damage. I'm gonna draw it biting on the nerve. Yeah, like that. So, that was sort of the delay most of it. We was just deciding whether or not we were going to remove these tooth or not, because of the risk of the permanent nerve damage. And there's two types of nerve damage, which I am aware of, because my grandpapa got nerve damage on this nerve when he got a herpes infection. He got facial herpes from one time that he had really, really low defenses, and he was at the hospital. But either way, I know that there are two options for nerve pain. One is eternal numbness. So my jaw would just be numb forever. Like that left side of my jaw, it would be numb forever. It will be numb forever. And I don't know if you have seen Tim Curry, but basically it would sort of like sag a little bit. My mouth would always like be like a little saggy, because that part of the nerve just doesn't work. And that is also something that's common with stroke victims. Like, that is something that you will find with stroke victims, that they have a little thingy going down, because it causes nerve damage on the left side of your body. On the left side of your body also has the jaw thingy. And also the other one is that I would be in eternal pain. The left side of my jaw will always be in pain, and I will have to be in pain forever. And then I asked the dentist, hey, so, how can we prevent this? Is there any way that we can make it so that the surgery won't cause nerve damage? As in, are there more odds in our favor? And the dentist was like, yeah, no, so, we'll only know if you have the nerve damage after we've taken the tooth. And also, sometimes people who don't even have that problem get nerve damage. That is just a common risk. So it's a flip of a coin. It's a flip of a coin, sorry. Also, since you have had like anemic episodes, you have iron deficiency, chronic anemia, we're going to ask you for blood work because we don't want you to bleed out. And that was the doctor's appointment. That was a dentist appointment. That was the dentist appointment. And we, of course, discussed the options with my parents. Because if I take out all of my wisdom teeth, there is a possibility that my jaw, my mandible, will fix itself. Teeth have a very specific way of just like positioning themselves, and if it's your wisdom tooth, thank you for the lurk, even. Or Aven. If we take out all of them, that means that, my teeth will be okay and I won't be needing braces. Which is one of the things that I might be needing after the surgery, to reposition the teeth on their correct positions. Which is not something I'm super happy about. I know that braces are annoying. As I said, all of my friends had braces during high school, so I know the pains of having a brace. Oh shit, my dad called. I'll call him later. But if I don't take out my one last wisdom tooth, I might have permanent nerve damage. So that is a trade-off. Oh, and also if I don't take it out, I will just have that pinching pain forever. So it was a decision that we had to consider, and we did decide. I will be taking them all out. It's a coin toss at this point. If I'm going to get nerve damage or not, that will be God's will. That will be Frida's will. So, I will be taking them all out. Hopefully it doesn't come to the worst, and I'll be able to, like, recover completely. Hopefully I don't get that, but yeah. From the April 30th, so next Thursday, to possibly maybe even the second week of May, so past my birthday, alas, I will be spending my birthday in recovery. I will most likely just be on full hiatus because I won't be able to speak. Let's say I'll probably be off until May 15th. Yeah, May 15th. So, this is why, even though I am feeling a little bit sick, I wanted to do a small stream so that this few days I focus entirely on recovering from my cold and getting my defenses in place so that the surgery has the best chances of going smoothly. So yeah, I'm gonna have a hiatus for these dates. Dane, hi! Isn't it late for you? I hope that it isn't too late. Hope that it isn't too late for you, Dane. But yeah, actually, Lullaby. Do you like being called Lullaby or Lola? Question. But yeah, crazy thing is that the reason why the wisdom tooth are just like positioned like that and are being evil. Thank you so much, Dana. I really appreciate it. The reason why our teeth are bigger for our mouth is because before we evolved into Homo sapiens, before we discovered fire and discovered cook food, those wisdom tooth and our jaw was specialized. You go by Lola. Okay, good to know. Our tooth, our teethers, our jaw and mandible were specialized so that we would eat raw meat, and raw meat is very hard. Here, let's just do a bone body over here. So, this is like how our skull looks right now. And this is like after. After we discovered fire, we discovered how to cook food, and before our bone mass, not bone mass, our brain mass became larger. So after our brain was larger, but before then, our ancestors had to eat raw meat, had to eat raw vegetables, had to eat raw everything, and sometimes that is far more difficult on the mandibles. So we had a bigger jaw. This is just out of the top of my head. I'm sure that there were anatomical illustrations. But as you can see, we sort of like traded off jaw strength for brain space. Elsa, thank you for the lurk, Ethan. And thank you for the lurk, Danny. But our jaw way back when did hold our wisdom tooth, and those were used to chew the food. But now that we don't need them, those tooth are useless. And because they're useless and because they have no purpose, they decided to become evil and fuck up our entire lives. Actually, there's this really fun study, that there's actual babies that are being born without wisdom teeth. As in, we are evolving past wisdom teeth and past jaws that have them. Of course, it's pretty rare, but it is becoming more and more common as our bodies adapt and stuff. But yeah. Let me see, I need to find some of my resources that I used to have. Is everything just... yeah, okay. But that is the plan, and hopefully I come back to streaming and to content creation all recovered, all perfect, and nothing will go wrong ever. Actually, Lola, my mistake was to let it wait. I know that it's really scary because my mom was really scared of the surgery too. I'm not the most worrywart person in the world. I don't really mind medical procedures. But my mom does. My mom does get really, really scared about medical procedures. But taking out your wisdom teeth, I have learned that is something that you'd rather do sooner than later. Why? Because the whole reason I am risking nerve damage is because my mom decided to wait. Because way back when I was a baby, and by baby I mean 16 years old, I went to the dentist on our neighborhood, and the dentist told my mom that I needed to take my wisdom teeth out, that right now it was low priority, but if possible, I should get my wisdom teeth taken out ASAP. I could either do 2 or I could do all 4, whichever one I was more interested in. I wanted to take all of them immediately. Like, why wait? Just do it. But my mom decided that she didn't want that. She was really, really scared that something would happen. And so we put it off. We decided, the dentist said it's low priority. We can wait. And so we waited. And it is now 9 years later, and I'm going to have to take my wisdom teeth out because that evil tooth is is now ruining my entire life. Also, by the way, this is a commission that I'm making for somebody in the Ever After High fandom wiki. That's why I took up the Apple White render, so that I can reference the shading, because it's been a while. By the way, one of my friends, Sola, which is more active on the fandom, she realized lately that all of the Ever After High art was most likely made either with Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, or with Inkscape. And how did we learn that? Because these squiggles, everybody just did them manually most of the time. I mean, they're squiggles. You just scribbled around and did them. And nobody really thought that maybe it was a filter or a brush setting. But Sola has always been very into the more investigative part, the more research side part of the fandom. And she realized that there is this specific plugin for Inkscape, which is the software that she uses, to do those specific squiggles. The elusive squiggles that we have been talking about since the dawn of the fandom. And we realized, oh my goodness, this artist, Helen Huang, which is the original illustrator of the Ever After High box art, so this one over here, most likely use that tool. And of course, usually illustrations or anything that has to do with box art or that has to be resized really often, like logos and stuff, has to deal with working with vector layers and working with vectors in general. You can of course convert rasters into vectors, but it is a pain and it isn't super accurate, so it is usually best if you do the vectors. And she ended up tweaking it on Inkscape and making some really, really good vector illustrations of her character on that style. And I think that's great. The Ever After High fandom at large, at least what's left of it, most of us are either tucked in on the fandom wiki, or they're younger people that are now rediscovering the series, rediscovering or discovering it, point blank. Don't really know much about it. Unfortunately, a lot of Ever After High has become lost media as the time went by. But, the good thing is that usually the Ever After High staff or the former Ever After High staff are super friendly. And they're really nice. So, if you're able to reach them, which can be very difficult, I'm not gonna lie, they'll usually answer your questions and they'll usually work with you. But of course, a lot of it, you just gotta scrape by with what you've got. I should get it sooner than later. My worst fear is still being able to feel the surgery. Oh, no problem, Lola. Right now, they have very potent anesthetics for these kinds of things. I was also worried about that. That is a fear of mine that I used to have. And I was a little bit worried about that. But my friend, Stefan, the one that got his wisdom teeth taken out recently, he told me that he went into the surgery room. He got the anesthetics, and he felt only 10 minutes passed. He didn't really feel, the pain, but he did feel like the people shifting around on his mouth, and it felt like 10 minutes, but when he looked at the clock, it had been an hour. So those anesthetics were potent enough to shift his space-time perception. So that was really reassuring to me. Specifically. I'm so glad. Ever After High is so good. It is so good, and it is so complex. It is such a complex story, and I get why it wasn't really popular. Because, unfortunately, the story was too complex for the demographic that they aimed for, and it didn't really capture that many Monster High fans, because our demographic, because I was part of the demographic for the original Monster High, our demographic wasn't really interested in princesses. We felt like it was too girly, it was too childish. So even though the topics I would have really liked to explore back when I was a tween, I wasn't able to do so because I never really gave the show a chance until way after the show got cancelled, which was sad. I was able to get on store some of like the last Gen 3 dolls, but I have become a very avid collector. Unfortunately, due to the fact that I was too late to the party, I don't have a full collection. It pains me. It pains me a lot. But, one day I'll get all of the dolls. One day. They're also my retirement plan. I do have a very hefty collection, though. Some of them are actually customized, so that means that the value is depleted. I have repainted some of the dolls' faces, but I do have on storage some of the original dolls with the original face paint, so if I ever want to sell them, I can just reclothe one of the naked ones and keep the customized ones for myself. I also have read most of the books, not all of them. Unfortunately, some of the books are really difficult to find because they were workbooks. They were like, write your own story, write variations to this specific story. Or they were planning books, like party planning books, so I wasn't able to get them. But I have most of them. I have the full collection of the works written by Shannon Hale. The pet books, like the little mini stories, and I have them in hardcover, which was really nice. I have The Legend of Shadow High, but I have it in softcover. I wasn't able to get it in hardcover, even though I did ask for the hardcover. I don't know why they shipped that one, but when I tried to get the hardcover one, they just sent me the Legend of Shadow High one again. But yeah, as for memorabilia, I don't really have that much. It's mostly just the books. But yeah, I have been a very, very avid fan of Ever After High. I have the story box of Legends, which is the 4-pack. It was really nice, and I have other collectibles. And most of the dolls, most of the signature dolls. Unfortunately, I am not able to get some of the signature dolls. Because they're really expensive. For example, the Lacey Hearts first generation, the first wave, is extremely expensive. Is extremely rare. So I haven't been able to get it. Justine Dancer is basically gone. Because she was a third wave, so not many people were buying her. And there are other dolls that are just very difficult to find. For example, Alistair Wonderland. God, I hate that guy. My favorites in the show. Ooh, my favorites in the show. I really, really loved. Oh gosh. I love Bunny Blanc. I love all of the Wonderlandians, to be honest. Aside from Alistair, I don't like Alistair. All of the Wonderlandians are really, really good. To me, they're very well written. I really like Cedarwood. I really like Apple and Raven. Mostly Apple, actually. I lean more towards Apple. I like Cinderella. I like Ashlyn. Aito!
Yeah!
Hello! Thank you so much for coming in. Hello. Oh, you were streaming one of the old games. Is this a PS1 or a PS2 game? Let me check. Well, hello, thank you so much for raiding in. How you guys doing? What do you guys do? Also, thank you so much for raiding in. If you need to raid in, well, feel free to do so. I know that streaming can be very, very tiring. Oh, this is a Nintendo game, okay. Oh, it's, why did I think it was... Well, probably because PS1 also had a ton of Simpsons games. Yeah, I hope you had fun. It's NES. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. And for the people who do not know me, hello! I'm a ghost of a blanket variety, and I am a part-time freelance illustrator and full-time hunting expert. Right now, I was talking about Ever After High, since right now I am doing a commission for somebody in the fandom. And I was talking about my favorite characters. Thank you so much. Ugh! Thank you so much for the... I'm not saying that word. Thank you so much for the bits, though. I really appreciate it. I am not saying that word, though. You cannot bait me into saying it. But, I wonder if I can get an NES for cheap. I really love Nintendo games, and unfortunately I missed out on most of them because we were a PlayStation family. So I only really played PlayStation 1 and Xbox 360 games because those were the two consoles that I managed to convince my parents to get. Well, that is a lie. My sister convinced my parents to get the PS1. And then after I was born, I was able to convince them to get the Xbox 360. Oh yeah, the original PlayStation is great. Unfortunately, ours got the very common city loading damage, the very common city loading malfunction, so it became pretty much useless when I was around 11 or 12 years old. Oh, that's so nice. I was really jealous of the kids that had an N64 because I really wanted to play the Zelda games and the Mario games. Specifically the racing ones. I remember my uncle from my mom's side, he actually used to play a lot of games on his computer. And I played a lot of the Crash Bandicoot games in his computer, not on the PlayStation. Because by that time, it was already failing to load those CDs. And it had the memory card error as well. That PS1, even though it lasted a while, it had all of the bricking mistakes, all of the common bricking errors that would just kill your console back in the day. But I was really jealous of the racing games. I used to love racing games. Yes! Tomodachi Life. Tomodachi Life. I'm so glad you enjoyed the demo. I love Tomodachi Life. As I said, my personal island, the one that I'm not streaming in, yeah, it's already level. Let me just check. I have my Switch right now over here. Let me just check what is my score here. I am level, let me just do the one fuzzy animation. I wish we could skip that. I am level 80, never mind! Also, by the way, as we'll start in 45 seconds, will be a 3-minute ad so that we can get a full hour of uninterrupted ghost. Of uninterrupted spookies. Feel free to grab a snack, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, whatever you may need. My PS2 I had as a kid still works for me. Ugh, that's so good. Honestly, old tech is very, very durable. Probably just those errors that we got, those malfunctions that we got was probably because my sister and I were dumb kids. And, of course, when you're a dumb kid that most of the time had to, set up everything by themselves, we probably did some stupid shit. Boba Patrol. No problem. Honestly, I'm not surprised that the GameCube holds up. The GameCube was a very nifty console. I still have friends that have their childhood GameCubes work well. Also, if you have a 3DS, if you have a 3DS or a DS, thank you so much for the follow! Buy the original Tomodachi Life. The original Tomodachi Life still holds really, really well. As I said, I am playing the original Tomodachi Life and the new Tomodachi Life in tandem right now. Oh no, Agile! I'll be going to get some more water. I already ran out of water. I'll go to the bathroom. But yeah, 3-minute break. I'll be right back. Have some words in the meantime. Oh, ow. Okay, I'm back with some water. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back to everybody who was on a break. Oh, yeah, you guys are doing well. I think that outbreak's just a little bit delayed for me. Yeah. Okay, it just came out. I don't know why I mixed it up. Gave the announcement a little bit early. But welcome back to everybody who was on a jail. I hope that you guys were able to do whatever you need. Look. I am back with some, room temperature water. I probably should have made myself a pot of tea, but hindsight is 2020 and I don't have a regular pot. Playing Clueless. Oh. So true. It's because I am a ghost and I haunt your memories in your mind. That's part of the arcane contract. Yeah, I do wish I had enjoyed more of the PS1 era of games. Because I was a baby. I only had mostly licensed games or very safe for work games. My sister was a very big Dance Dance Revolution fan, so we had the mat and everything, and we had the games, but I wasn't able to play them. Why? Because I was too light, and the Dance Dance Revolution mat didn't register my steps. It thought that it didn't actually register my weight. So I was never able to do Dance Dance Revolution stuff. But I used to have a ton of Cartoon Network licensed games. And I also had Parappa the Rapper. I was awful at Parappa. My sense of rhythm was very, very bad when I was little. But I love Parappa regardless. It was such a fun game. I may play it again. After all, during my birthday, we did play through part of the Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters on an emulator on Duck. And we did go through the first 2 dimensions. So it would be cool if we finish that playthrough. Of course, after my surgery. So that will be a belated birthday stream. And and I would definitely want to restart the Parappas. I would start a Parappa playthrough because goddamn, it was so cool. One thing I'd also like to play, but I might wait for the remake to come out, is Silent Hill 1, because I know that they're working on a remake. And the only times I played Silent Hill 1 was when going to my cousin's house, because they had the cool games. They had the cool horror games that I wasn't allowed to get. So I was able to play them. I was able to play snippets and also watch them play. I was the annoying cousin that was like, "Hey, it's my turn in the Xbox." Except I didn't really ask for turns because I was a scaredy cat when I was little. But I would love to play the originals. Specifically Silent Hill 1 and 2. I have the remake for 2, so that is something that we can play on stream. If my shitty ass laptop allows it. But I would also love to play the originals because they have some nostalgia element to it. I will definitely be needing a guide for the puzzles though, because here in Colombia we know jack shit about Shakespeare, and I know that there are Shakespeare puzzles in Silent Hill 2. Which is a shame. God damn it. Everything is so US-centric. But either way, I'm sure that I'll have a blast playing it, because I remember very clearly the only part I played was killing one nurse. A singular nurse. In the original game. They only allowed me to play that one part. And I believe it was just at the start, where you were still, I believe they had just reached the second floor of the hospital. It wasn't ground floor, but it also wasn't the highest floor. Because I remember it being pitch dark. And again, the lighting engine of the PS1 is not the best. PS1, PS2. Silent Hill 2 is PS2. But, hey, it was still pretty cool. Ooh, one thing that I really, really want to replay is, or not replay, just play in general, because I didn't have the game, is Fatal Frame 2, the remake. It came out recently, and I have been holding off on buying it because, well, first of all, as you guys know, I am saving up for an actual computer, a new computer, that will not die on me, and will not overheat, and will not freak out if I play anything other than Water Park Simulator or Minecraft for too long. And that way I'll be able to stream the games that I love, which usually are horror games. But, of course, I wasn't able to play F. And I do want to play Resident Evil 9 with you guys. I actually have been holding off on replaying, Resident Evil 7 and 8 because I want to play it with you guys. Also, I haven't touched Ludo, which was a game I was planning to play on stream, but my computer dies every single time because it overloads the GPU if I'm streaming it. Yeah. Hopefully I do get that. Yeah. But those are things I've been holding off on buying before I get my computer, so that way I can provide you guys with more cool content, cool spooky content. The good thing, though, about having a shitty laptop that cannot handle the newest AAA games is that I am able to check out more indie horror games. I believe that Chilizard has released about 2-ish more games since the last time I played. I have already played Shinkansen Zero, which was their newest, last year. So, we might play through some Chilizard games, and some indie horror games that I have had on my radar for a while. I really wanna play the Pumpkin Boy game, which apparently is a very good hyper-realistic depiction of postmortem bodies and decomposition and psychosis, and I will be the judge of that. For those who do not know, I have a very big interest on forensics and on after-death care. So being a mortician, unfortunately, because of certain disabilities that I have, I am not able to practice. But if I were able to, I wouldn't have been an artist at all. Well, it would have still been a hobby of mine. Art is something that I'm very passionate about, but I would have been a doctor in forensics or something. I would have been a mortician. I would have had a day job. Ooh, job. Yeah. So I am only able to watch from the sidelines as people live my dream. But apparently they do say that it's very accurate. And again, that is something that excites me. I love games that tackle the topic of death and grief. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm a ghost, so anything that has to do with ghosts, I like. I also want to replay Mortuary Assistant. I didn't get all of the endings back when I did it. It was before I started streaming. I started streaming fairly recently. But I want to play Mortuary Assistant on stream. I also just want to play all of the indie horror games that I have not yet touched. I honestly really want to play Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk and its sequel, Milk Outside a Bag of Milk Outside a Bag of Milk. But I don't know how triggering that will be because I also have social anxiety. I am not agoraphobic, but I do have social anxiety. So I don't know if I'll be able to handle that, but we'll take that one step at a time. I may actually even replay Omori, even though I have played that stupid game 3 million times. But it is a classic, it is a very good game, and I'm saying classic as if it wasn't released in 2020. But, of course, as somebody who owes a lot of my career to Omori, I might as well replay it too. It is just a very good game. And I may just play some of the RPG horror that I have dropped throughout the years. Or for the Ghost-a-thon. For example, I never finished Corpse Party, nor Forest of Drizzling Rain. Forest of Drizzling Rain was mostly a problem with the sound effects, which gave me really bad headaches. But with Corpse Party, I may actually just look at one of the older versions. The ones without the piss fetish. If you want to watch somebody play through Corpse Party, the the PSP version, Kid is doing a playthrough. I believe he did the first chapter yesterday. I was there for a little bit throughout the stream, and he made the very good decision of making the music on the game super low, because the music of the PS2 version just pissed me off. It really took me out of the immersion of the game, so I may try it with some of the earlier versions of the game that don't have all that post-production stuff, and see if I like it better that way, because obviously Corpse Party has a very, very good story. I remember playing one of the older versions and really liking it, even though I got one of the bad endings. I believe I got the one... I mean, I don't want to spoil, but also this game came out in like 2001. But either way, I got one of the bad endings. Frida, you have your own water. Little lady. Love the music. I know it's not for everyone. Yeah, it's just that for RPG horror or for horror games, if you overdo it with the music, it becomes cheesy. It becomes really, really cheesy. And as someone who is very used to psychological horror and to old RPG Maker games that have very minimal music and focus more on the sound design of stuff, I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. Holy shit, $35 for a plush? I'm sorry, Jaden. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kairyu Crocodile, but I'm not spending $35 on a plush, no matter how adorable that is. I'm so sorry I did named Kairyu. But yeah, music can definitely make or break a game. Because, for example, I love the sound production and the music production of Silent Hill F. Silent Hill F has one of the greatest soundtracks of modern horror games so far. And, of course, Abe's soundtrack is iconic, even though it uses a lot of royalty-free music. It's still iconic. And we also have the soundtrack of Siren. Siren is also really, really good with the sound design. It's amazing. What the hell? Thank you so much for reading in. Boodle the Artist Clown Man. Ooh! A clown! Also, I see you are writing art. You are doing art, so, art tags, please. I'm gonna be needing some art tags that I can chomp on. I played the version with the piss fetish and I laughed at it. Yeah, that is the most commonly played one by, this generation, because it's the one for the PSP. I know because I didn't play it, but one of my friends from middle school played the PSP version, because I was like, hey, Corpse Party is a really good game, you should play it. Ooga booga boo, who the fuck are you? We doing buenas. Hello, 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 hello. Buenas noches. How you guys doing? How do you do? I hope that you did well on the stream. If you need to read and run, feel free to do so. Also, hello, I am a ghost of the blanket party. No art tax, goddammit. You can send one of your previous art. I don't mind if it wasn't the one that you worked on stream. How dare you not give me art tax? That is a crime. And I don't have any mods so that I can punish you. God damn it. I guess I understand. I hope that you enjoyed your stream and that you did some good progress on the art. But yeah, it was really embarrassing when my friend was playing the PSP version and I realized, oh, this version has some very specific scenes that I don't remember from the RPG Maker versions. This is kind of embarrassing. But yeah, I suppose that is a lesson learned. Oh, another one that has amazing soundtrack that I love and that is super underrated, Yumeniki. Of course, Yumeniki, I am very obsessed with it. As already know, it is one of my favorite games of all time. So, yeah, love Yumeniki. I know that Majora's Mask isn't classified as horror, but it is a pretty spooky game, and I also love the soundtrack of it. So yeah, if you're going to do soundtrack, if you're going to do music for your game, you gotta be very, very careful about it. Because it can make or break your thingy. Oh, is that you? That is so cute! Why can't I open this? Wait, let me just open it on another tab. Maybe their problem is that it came out as an emerging tab. Okay, there we go. By the way, do you not know how to export images? Oh, I love your little guy. It is so cute. Yeah. Here, let me... Boing. There we go. That's a little guy. I really like it. It's really cute. That is a tentacle. I love the tentacle. I like the little detail of the heart patch. It's really cute. But yeah, if you want to like export your images from computer to your phone so that you can upload them, use your Discord. Make a Discord server just for yourself and send yourself the images. They will obviously be compressed unless you have Nitro, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good about sharing images really fast, and that's what I do whenever I feel lazy. Right now with CSP, I do have to save my images on my computer to upload them to social media, but back when I had Medibang, sometimes I just made a raster of it and send them to Discord so that I wouldn't have to save the images myself. Yeah, thank you so much for the art tags. I really like your little clown. We love clowns in this household. But yeah, that is sort of my opinion with horror games. Another thing that I really want to play, I need to buy the game. because I know that's something that my computer can run. I need to play Clock Tower. That is like the grandpapa of survival horror. And obviously, if I am a Silent Hill fan, I gotta play the grandpapa of survival horror. And I know that they made a special edition recently that has the remastered version and also the original version to play vanilla. I want to play them both. Probably I'll play the remastered edition because they did some quality of life changes that are very good. But yeah, I want to play the original Clock Tower. I think that it would be a really cool experience. I just love horror games, man. And I have such a big, to-do list for horror games that I want to get. Got locked out of my Twitter on the sea, so I use the lazy way. Yeah. I mean, at least nobody can accuse you of stealing drawings. You're quite literally taking pictures of them. But yeah, the best way to do so, the lazy way to do so, is just copy and paste them to Discord. And then you can download them on your phone. On your Pahong. Ah shit, is this? Okay. Yeah, how is your stream? You said that you were doing a commission? I'm glad that you got a commission. How was it? Tell me about it. It's been a while since I've checked on the Friday Night Funkin' fandom. I wonder, since now I have a controller to play it on, it will be easier for me. Because I was fucking it up. I wasn't that good. I only was good at certain songs. I'm wondering if maybe now that I have a controller, it will be easier. I also really, really want to play, even more so than Friday Night Funkin', Scratching Melody, because Scratching Melody is very inspired by Parappa. Of course, I love Parappa. It's such a feel-good game. Parappa's such a nice memory for me. And unfortunately, Parappa was one of the games that I didn't have half. We had to rent it. Do you guys remember having to rent games? Renting games? I mean, I'm sure that you can still rent games. I'm talking as if I was born in 1925. But I remember having to rent games back in the day. And I could only play so much of them, and since I was very little, I was 6 to 8 years old. I probably played a PlayStation even when I was younger than that, but, you know, memories get pretty fuzzy after a while. So, I could only play up until a certain point. I wasn't even that good at playing games in general. My hand-eye coordination took a long time to develop, so unfortunately I was just really bad at a lot of things. The Bugs Bunny and Taz thingy, I actually wasn't able to finish the second level, the Aztec region. I got really frustrated. Honestly, I felt really vindicated when I completed it on last year's birthday stream. I finally conquered my enemy. Wait, what time is it? I thought that kid would be... Oh, did he already start and it didn't notify me because I'm in streamer mode? I thought that kid would be streaming Tomodachi Life today. Let me see. No, he's streaming in 2 days. He's streaming Sunday. Dang it. I thought that he would be streaming. He would be streaming today. That's okay. That's okay. Will I be streaming Sunday? I guess that depends on how I'm doing health-wise. Boing. Boing. There we go. But if I'm streaming Sunday, I'm streaming Tomodachi Life. I'm streaming Tomodachi Life. VTuber Island for VTubers needs to get bigger and better. And I have asked more friends if I can make them in Tomodachi Life. I already dealt with it, but with my video game fixation, I researched it, and that's how I discovered Blockbuster. Buying big vintage games in thrift stores. Why and how video game consoles fail, such as the Atari Jaguar. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Done that once multiple times on Vita where I got the schedule wrong for a day. That is okay. My mental clock has been really, really fucked up. Usually when you're sick, or when I get sick, it does get fucked up a little bit. I funk up the dates. Because basically, in my mind, if I get sick one day, if I'm just spend it sleeping, that day doesn't exist. But, as I was saying, Blockbuster, man. Blockbuster. I remember when we went to Blockbuster to rent movies, and I would go to the kids section, pick up all of the Barbie movies, and be like, Mom, Dad, I have a business proposal for you. I have a business proposal. You give me Barbie movie. You give me Barbie movie. You give me Barbie movie. And I eat all my vegetables. Yes, good trade offer. Obviously, they wouldn't rent all the Barbie movies for me. It was a lucky day whenever I got to have a movie rented for me. Not just Barbie movies, but just like a kids movie in general. But, Blockbuster was just such a treasure trove. It really is a core memory of mine, going to Blockbuster and going to the kids section. And just going ham, getting movies, and reading the descriptions, to see which one I like the most. Those were the days. But, anyway, I do have very much, a love for those times. Those were simpler times. Not necessarily happier times, but definitely simpler times. What? Give myself some more water. Yeah, I got into the Googling and watching YouTube vids. Oh, nice. I still cannot believe that consoles that I grew up with are now considered vintage or retro. That's not fair. That's not fair. What the hell? I'm not old. I'm not evil. Well, I am evil, but I'm not that old. I don't think there was ever a Blockbuster in my area. Aw, dang it. I'll be rented from... I see. Redbox didn't exist in Colombia, so we only had Blockbuster. But then my dad discovered the beautiful, beautiful world of piracy, and we never had to rent Blockbuster ever again. Yippee! But we did rent a lot of video games, and by we, I mean my sister. My sister and my dad, actually. My dad used to be what you like to call an epic gamer. He was kind of a gamer. But, no, either way, oh gosh. I can feel the sick. I can feel the illness creeping. But, Blockbuster memories are they're not super detailed. They're kind of fuzzy because I remember that we only went at night. For some reason, all of my memories of Blockbuster are at nighttime. Oh, the Wii is 20 years old. No, it isn't. It came out like 5 years ago. Stop lying. Stop being a liar. That didn't happen. The 3DS is still the newest console ever. What do you mean? 2019 was like 3 years ago. 2006 was like 9 years ago. No, stupid. My parents never were and are still not tech savvy, so sailing the seven seas was left up. Oh, no. My dad didn't do digital piracy. He did the good old traditional piracy. The one in which you went to a business that had some very bad, probably copyrighted pun name, where you could buy pirated DVDs that they burned and get the little cases from. I still have some of those pirated DVDs. But no, my dad was never really, he's not tech savvy at all. In fact, this is a fun fact. So my Nintendo 3DS started getting the black screen blue light error. That, if you guys don't know, if you guys are not 3DS savvy, that could mean that your 3DS is bricked. But I did some troubleshooting, and apparently there was a problem with my God mode and with my Luma, so I had to get the SD card out of this and update everything. And unfortunately, this shitty-ass laptop doesn't have an SD card slot, so I had to borrow my dad's laptop. Guys, my dad's laptop has so many viruses that when I tried to install Malwarebytes, it almost bricked itself. I was panicking at almost 1 a.m. in the morning with a splitting headache, trying to fix my dad's computer because it was so bad. It was so bad. And by the way, I still haven't gotten rid of the virus. I have sort of like helped run my dad's computer a little bit faster because it took 5 minutes to boot up. But the virus is still there, and it is camouflaged as Google Chrome, and I know that because Google Chrome is just like there. Thank you so much for the follow, Buru. But yeah, the virus is still living in my dad's computer. It's living a very cozy life, and my mom and I have decided that it's sort of a lost cause trying to de-virusify my dad's computer. That computer never had any chance, but my dad is very good at analog piracy. He used to get me all of the DVDs I wanted. I just gave him a list and he would get them from me. Is that a wisp? No, they are like my own little chat mascots that I made. I know that they're very generic, but, you know, they're just little wisps. They're pieces of your soul that I collect when you follow me. And then I feed them to our Lord and Savior Frida, so that she can get more powerful and summon an evil demon to take over the world. But no, they're just like my own chat mascots. We'll start these little guys, you know, the ones on the screen. But yeah, my dad was a disc burning master. We got all our stuff from that. Those were the times. But yeah. Anyway, I'm starting to feel worse now. I might have to end stream right now. I didn't say it was going to be a short stream. But yeah, my dad sailed the old seven seas, the ones that the seven seas that once you had to actually go outside for. Wow, I'm pretty sure that he still has some like blank cities to burn stuff in. And given that I'm thinking about switching out from Spotify and instead just getting an MP3 player, I might ask him if maybe we can go out and get an MP3 flip player for cheap somewhere, because ordering it from Amazon honestly goes a little goes a little expensive for my wallet. You're not a cat guy? Mods, kill him. Mods, kill him right now. Wait, give me a second, I have the perfect command for this. But yeah, I think that I'll be reading out real soon. Kaboom. Let's see who I can read out to. We've got Scoopy, we've got Flopsy. Scoopy rated out to us. So, rated out to us recently. So, let's rate out to Scoopy. Scoopy's a very good friend of mine. He is playing Elden Ring with my other friends, Pebble and Hayden, aka Bamboo. And he's just a very silly, funny guy, and I'll be making his screens. He commissioned me to do his screens for his read review. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this short stream. And so far, all streams will be a day-by-day basis, depending on how well I am health-wise, if I have recovered. But this is my raid message and my raid message for subs. Also, feel free to join my Discord server. I usually post more regular updates over there. But if you don't feel like joining the server, you can also follow me on all social media. Thank you so much, Emmy. That's social stunning. I am Blanket Ghost on most social media, except for YouTube, in which I am the Blanket Ghost for my regular videos, or Blanket Ghost for my mod channel. Yay! I also have commissions open and donations open for my Ko-Fi and for my Legion. So if you want to get something cool, raiding your blankets when they're hunting, so true. Of course, there's also my throne, but of course, any and all donations and gifts are optional. What's important is that you guys have fun. Yeah. See you guys later. Bye bye. 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 Bye bye.